want your consent to record the session, if
Yes,
that is
I
all
did.
right.
You can record too. I did put the button record.
Okay. So, Dr. Lokesh, I also have my colleague Akash Gupta on the call. In fact, he is a graduate of medical education. He has done MBBS in India. So I think he would have a good understanding of the current education system. And also we can draw some comparisons of how, US is able to do it so well, and what are the learnings that we can draw from Western countries, and make some recommendations on those lines to our government and to NMC perhaps. With that, I think it'll be good to hear from you your views on course structure, or the way course is designed in India as compared to US.
Sure. So you want me to go ahead and start?
Yes, I think one of our colleagues is waiting for you to admit. If it'll be great if you may admit.
Sorry, admitted, Sharda Mittal, sorry.
Yeah. So she'll
I'm
see if
learning
she's on.
how to operate Zoom too.
Yes. So yeah. Now we may begin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Actually, presenting to your firm is very honor, because your biggest firm and helping government. It's very difficult to access the big hierarchy in government system. This is my work for last 10 years, and that's my passion. So let me share slowly, because we can learn a lot more in India itself, solutions which we need to network together or join the forces that I will bring to your attention. Let me see what we have. I have some PowerPoint presentation. Let me open. Do you able to see and hear me well?
Yes, perfectly fine. Yeah, we can see the presentation.
Yes.
So these Indian medical students, first that's about the core of it. As you see in the PowerPoint, I mean, I talk to them. I have groups with them. They're intelligent. They're energetic. They're talented, motivated, well-connected, versatile, aspiring. This is, and we're not, they are like academically orphans. Academically orphans. I mean, except they're self-motivated or higher-ended, and aims are a little bit few institutions. Indian faculty, very good. Many positive in faculty, positive things in faculty. But one thing I found is ownership is lacking. And especially problems, they don't have a ownership given to the associate professors, because they also wait for the HOD. And then HOD look for principal, which changes every year. Principal changes to the health university, which they don't have any ownership of changing the exam things. They had to go to MCI. MCI is a big body and they're not able to change. So this inflexibility is one of the major reasons. And I'll show examples of what we did, what I did, and whether they listen to me or something, the results of the same concepts. And they are not given a freedom of oriented younger faculty. Like we're going to measure in the COVID also, we learned from high dose of steroids in younger physicians, independent flexibility in Andhra Pradesh, which is a showcase for the world. Hierarchy system is a big barrier, which I'm sure you know. What we think is few reforms needed. What observed last few years is government does a lot of very good reforms, which is, but the main thing, they're not able to prepare the people, show the positiveness on the long run. They don't understand what the NMC bill came. I 100% supported with evidence-based knowledge, and that's failed to percolate down the system. And people take emotions and then try against it, but educated them is, that's what we need. But few of them needed to implement soon by NMC board, which is came, because I've been following NMC on, I think, report 92 several years ago. Then after that, you probably know in this, and then I prayed, and after a year, it's finally passed. Okay, let me go one issue at a time. Okay, before that, actually, what I wanted to do is, um, let me do this. Um, Let me go to my computer. First, I'll give first example. This is RP website. Whatever I work, I'm a chairman of RP Global Medical Education. It's a committee we formed a year before. As International Medical, we changed the name to Global because global is a word they use in all the institutions across the world. So we thought that reflects the current nomenclature. What we did first thing is we sent a letter to MCI Chairman Dr. Jayasri Madam in 2007 regarding the white coat ceremony. 2007. What is a white coat ceremony? It is you can look at Wikipedia. It is there. It is I don't know why it is a white coat ceremony to begin with. Then I looked at it. I went to medical grad. I wish that is a celebration. These are the 4 points I went through 20, 50 doctors, and these are the 5 points I wrote it. This will give you the opportunity to recognize hard work of several years of student in a stage with a white coat. It's like giving a gold medal. It's like giving a prize of the 18 years of work of the kid. They even give the opportunity parents. They see they're sitting there stage and appreciating the fruits of their kid working. Giving opportunity to faculty formally invite a new student into medical fraternity. Giving the formally group picture. So I'll go close with that one. And then I'm going to show some pictures I think I have white coat because this is very important. That's what it is. That is the professors, the senior students, bringing them coming into and the proud moment and the parents seeing. Um, and it is
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Lokesh. We continue to see the slides. I mean, in case you're changing the screens, we continue to see the
okay.
slides.
Yeah, I'm actually because of why this is the whole thing going on. Look at those things. But what the concept? I got an idea 2 days ago with the COVID season. How do we do this? Maybe we'll have the white code done by parents and then share those class pictures in the Instagram or something. So because closing is not a practical. That's the other thought process I have. So I'll close there. Then I go back to the that is the. It looks simple, but it's huge. The passion, the need, because I see in India the three types of healthcare system. One is the higher end corporate level, one is the middle class, one is the poor. And we have the COVID have three solutions. We've been interacting. Next one, this is the biggest thing. Emergency medicine is the department when the patient comes to the hospital. There is no ownership of the emergency medicine. When I came to America in 1983, there is no emergency medicine here as well. At that time, we did internal medicine. We used to work in emergency medicine for 2,000 so many hours. Then I can take a board examination. Then I'm a board eligible for qualified to do emergency medicine. Then in 93, they formed the Emergency Medical Association, and it is now almost residencies in America, 32,000. 5% of residencies, PG seats are in emergency medicine. So that means 2,300, something like that. In India, I came to this situation. I'm an allergist. I don't know much about emergency. I don't go to the hospital much. One of my family member was placed in orthopedic, placed in emergency, and he wanted a recommendation. Shift back to the orthopedics. Then I looked and researched a couple of weeks. I found these gaps. Then I wrote a letter, and we made through the RP given to the Dr. Nadaj, Mr. Health Minister Sir Nadaji, and then afterwards, I'll show you. I think let me see. This is okay. So these are letters I shared with you. Some of them, I think. So this is in 2008. Actually, we started in June. This is June also, and actually I didn't. So let's look at this. So in September, we gave it our delegation in Manhattan. We gave him, and then in USA, 2,200 postgraduates in ER to increase the emergency medicine, and we gave the policy. and actually amended 2008 ER is started. Emergency rooms and PG seats are started. But however, they failed to implement in past 10 years only 30 of 495 medical colleges. See, they did not
Again,
follow.
Dr. Lokesh, we just see the slide, but yes, since you had shared that letter with me, I have the context around that you'd
Yeah,
submitted a letter recommending that, and in fact, MCI has made it has issued some guideline also or advisory also
exactly.
to
But
have a medical
the
department.
question is, this is where the tech. That's what we need a feature of the white paper. See, this problem is 8, but they did not thought through how it can be implemented down the small one. They just made a rule and left it alone for 10 years. So that is the key point. So then, because this letter to the health minister did not work, then I have luckily went here university vice chancellor knows, and they have a meeting in December 2019 in Chennai with all the vice chancellors along with Dr. VK Palsa. And this letter is another letter I redrafted and sent through them. They made a decision in 2018 December, and then they bought a survey in 3 months. Then the 92 emergency medicine came. Then the emergency medicine implementation, whether this process or other process, but what I wanted to pursue is we agree on it, no matter whoever did it. It doesn't matter the credit.
Also, since you mentioned about the emergency medicine to be made to be more institutionalized, perhaps, how do you see that it can be driven at the undergraduate level? Because eventually, the recommendations or the scope that we are referring here is about the undergraduate medical curriculum.
Well,
So, is there any specific,
yes,
is there anything specific that can be done to integrate it as part of that, and perhaps for government to look at it, which is a missing bit at the moment?
excellent. I looked at the syllabus. The question is in 2019. This is another great. I didn't put it in my presentation actually so much for the question. In the emergency medicine, even though 2008 they formed it, the 2019 they came up with a new curriculum, but does not have any emergency medicine. They that's what you recommend. They did not put emergency medicine people. The curriculum, what the curriculum is, they mix with orthopedics, other things. They did not put it, even though they have. So those two people didn't talk each other. So that's one. Maybe they don't have enough emergency medicine people or something. So that's
It's not explicitly called out, is what you're saying. That it is
yes.
in bits and pieces there, but it is not explicitly called out, and that somehow does not emphasize on the significance of having it.
One more thing also, there is no emergency medicine. They're all like DNBs. They're not part of the faculty and hierarchy in the making the syllabus. And also emergency, there's not enough people there like MDs and the hierarchies to make a case for them. That's probably why. And because this mandatory, the future of the mandatory emergency medicine, future of the mandatory emergency medicine, what happens is now they start 2022, every medical college should have emergency medicine. So that means postgraduates will come. And that means there is a ownership will be there. And actually, then when the ER doctor resident goes through 2 weeks, or we should put 4 weeks. Actually, 4 weeks, that's the other thing. Please recommend 4 weeks of emergency medicine, 4 weeks of emergency medicine in the clinical rotation. Please advise that.
So that can be one of the recommendations, maybe. So, do you think it should be part of the course or part? I mean, the 4.5-year tenure course, or in the internship they can get that kind of exposure?
So internship already clearly written 2 weeks is already there for a long time in the casualty. Question is they're not, as I said, as an orphan, if an academically emergency medicine is not put it in the medical mindsets of the people. So what we are planning is when a student goes to the 2 weeks or 4 weeks, actually I recommend 4 weeks rotation, they will have lectures in an app and they have questions in the app. So at the end of the month, they can do the test questions and the questions can go to the HOD. That app system is I'm recommending for all subjects, and I will explain that later. And then this one, not this one, sorry. Okay, this is a PE thing. Okay, so let me go back onto the Okay, then so the next question is, this is coming to your major part, is how this is another major important thing which there are gap. For example, NMC start, one of them is they put a next examination, which is a major issue for students. So next examination is a multiple choice questions, and which is going to be in 2022 March. They have to conduct the first time. But what's going on in current medical students is they will test them essay questions, short answer questions.
Perhaps let's do that.
Yes, I will compare like simply, if you're preparing for a 5K run, 10K run, and marathon. So just passing MBBS examination, essay, they give a question, you write it down. These people, they don't even spend. For example, first year I talked to them, first year medical student in our medical college, one of them, they said they read internals 2 weeks, 3 weeks, finally exam 1 month. So they're really reading 2 months of the 12 months. That is the current system. That is a 5K preparation. When you go into if you're a gold medalist, maybe a 10K preparation. But I'll give an example. The gold medalist who has 35,000 rank, that's not good. In PG NEET, first time they put a PG NEET all over the country, and so they did not prepare. But the other student who prepared this format, multiple choice, whatever, and he got 1600 rank, he's doing radiology in JIPMER. So the problem this is not the problem of the students. This is the problem of the system. So what I said to you is, I through the vice chancellor, I recommended to VK Paul sir, sir, you're preparing the next examination. If you do the multiple choice question, which is computerized 100% multiple choice questions, from the first grade, first onwards, first examination all the way. I will give you two examples. One is Rishikesh Ames, directors are started 2 years ago, computerized multiple choice question, which we have been doing in USA since all the time, 50 years. So whenever the USA they supplement, always the research, slowly adopting the discussions. That's the process, as you know. That major process is missing from the bottom, gross level to the top. Our system is top level to the bottom. That's what my understanding. So Rishikesh, the other good thing is, yesterday I learned a week ago, JIPMER with the COVID, the typo, COVID, what they did is anatomy, physiology. First year student, they conducted examination online. This is unique. If this information can be done by MCI, see, there is what I recommend highly is MCI, they put a team with the international passionate people through your form, and or maybe with this medical education form permanently, some of them were passionate. Um, Outside people need to be in the form of committee in NMC. That's the other thing. So whoever is passionate, because it doesn't matter one person, we can channel all our knowledge to that one person, to that committee of the NMC. This is very important that you may want to write it down. I did not put it. So this online thing, JIPMER thing, multiple choice, DNB examination conducted online practicals this year. And that's the other thing. Okay.
What are the measures that you would suggest so that it can be? So I think the idea here is, we know that is the future. MCQ computerized assessment is the future, and that has been recommended by MCI also. So the idea here is to ensure that it is adopted well, or students do not suffer on the assessment part just because they are not familiar with this kind of assessment.
Oh no,
So,
actually, I'll share some information. I didn't plan that. So what it is they already I'm doing a survey. I'll share the survey. Kakinada Medical College, I took the permission from principal sir, and I sent a survey. Do you like the MCQ questions? 60% said yes. After my presentation, 70% said yes. There's nationwide survey going, JIPMER, Delhi, and Gujarat separately, and they're all asking 70%. Only thing is, that's what I said, you do immediate. This is the first thing they need to do. NMC they said, please implement computerized multiple or online examinations. You have freedom for the internals flexible. We are not going to use MCA rules. Why, when I asked the NTR University Vice Chancellor, sir, can you change it to multiple? He said, no, sir, MCA has a fixed rule. I cannot change. This need to be taken out. Or you can put it, MCA should be the, why, or they can give freedom. I'm not saying let them do, but mainly the MCA should be same as next exam. Our internal should be like a next exam. Our final exam should be next exam. In addition, they can adopt anything else in their assessment. You should give some freedom too. That freedom of wording is not there in the past MCA. You have to say, you have to give 100 marks this, you have to do this, you have to have examiner coming from other. Those things are there. So that immediately we have to give the freedom to them to conduct the multiple choice as the student wish. And I will share this, the survey. I think one of the students want to write an extra abstract or article on it. And because this is amazing. The second year student knows about case series than me. I'm 60 years old. He knows more research than me. I'm proud to admit that.
So that will be an interesting input, I think, with the survey that you mentioned, and perhaps providing that kind of flexibility to the institutes to decide how they want to incorporate this assessment in their systems in a gradual manner, so that everyone is on board.
The
And
other thing is, this is emergency. We have to do it today because this 2017 batch, which you have next year, December final year exam, if they take the final year exam multiple choice question way, then they're ready for the next examination. Imagine America medical students join and 24 months later, they take a step one examination. Do you know how much the passing rate? 94% of all the medical students in America pass first time USMLE step one in 24 months. Our students are smarter than American students, an average, but they were not put into that system. So if you put those multiple choice and along, because other thing is essay versus multiple choice, you can give Bloom's taxonomy level 5 questions, computerized. The question is essay questions. How do you X-ray to be read? You cannot write a picture of X-ray. How could a patient have abdominal pain? Could be stage-wise analysis, analytical. So Bloom taxonomy 5-level question could be computers. You cannot copy. You can change around the wording. You can only simple small investment. They charge 2,000-3,000 rupees for every examination. So these computers are 200 students, 200 computers. They can use for internals. They can use for MBBS. They can use PGs. Mostly have the nursing students, paramedical. They can use that lab for everything. It's actually one data bank from the nationwide. They can contribute and they can percolate into the things. So they don't have to every college have to come up with their own. So they ask, oh, we have a very, very hard for us multiple set. No, you give a task, divide it up, each branch and pour it into that, and then that's what it will come. So let me go to the next topic. Next one is lecture self-learn. Okay, let me go there. Okay. There is one thing called American Physicians of OBGYN, Gynecology Obstetrics. This is organization since, let me see. ABGO is, I have that article. I don't know whether I don't think I have it here, but I will show you. ABGO. This website is, this is Association of Professional Gynecology. They have a product called UWISE. What it is I think it's loading. What it is they have a 50 lectures. Okay, I just put it that one. UWISE version 3.5. There's the frequently asked questions they have. Let me go back on frequently asked questions. So UWISE is nothing but India already have an apps. Most of the students are going through Marrow, Prep Ladder, everything. You know them now, right? Because these faculty, they're not trusting them. These 2017 batch, they're so scared of examination. They're buying the app with 20,000 rupees and things like that. Privately, they're doing all the questions, get ready for it from now, and they go to online questions, the DAMS question. The irony is private colleges recruiting the private these dams or something in their own college, and which can be done in simply way whole nation. NMC can do this and give the charge 1,000 rupees, and then that's it, 3 lakhs people, 30 crores, and this money can be given to the each association, OBGM and everything, and develop their own thing, or give it a private firm to coordinate or something, whatever it is they are in charge. And then this will be this UWISE product. Okay, what is the UWISE product? Well, this is giving you how to do it. But UI is simply app like Marrow. Like if I have a lecture for OBGYN, like a pregnancy for prenatal care, there's a 10 minutes video. Like that, there are 50 videos in the app, and they're free on YouTube. I did a survey on that. There is an article I read. It's going to be published. I'll share with you what the students, even the nursing student, understand it. Our in Guntur Medical College nursing student understand that videos, and they give you 500 multiple choice questions. If you're MBBS doctor, you're practicing. Okay, like lady comes, what do we maybe a bleeding or some system? What is the recommendations? Or how do you take the education, or maybe how infertility or other issues? There are 50 videos, and the questions will be done. They take a test. This app, you take a test go to the medical college. So now MBBS student goes there. There's an orphan, like this student goes to OBGYN rotation or medicine rotation. Nobody cares about second year student at all, because they're busy PGs, they're busy also agency, they're seniors, they may give a little, but there's nobody give a one-on-one care. In America, only OBGYN is 4 weeks. They go to OBGYN doctor, they'll watch these videos, they take this reading, and they don't. So they're not giving the lectures. They're too busy. We can produce high quality, one quality videos which can go to all India. They can update it by the best people. Number two, multiple choice, which is higher level Bloom's taxonomy, best concept oriented questions, better than UWorld. And UWorld is a question bank they use for an NBM, the examination. And then the UWorld is, I will explain here. I'll take opportunity. Out of I think 32,000 postgraduates in America, all of them has to pass step 1, step 2, step 3. They read a gold standard question bank, 2,000 questions for step 1, step 2, step 3 is called UWorld, which is done by two Telugu brothers came from small villages. They came and they started this UWorld. Everybody read the UWorld. That's the gold standard. First, they want, Kaplan is teaching where I was there, I learned, and these kids came, they put, and Kaplan wanted to buy for $100 million. That's what I heard. I am not the facts. Then they said no. Then they go on giving to the nursing, they go on to the other one. Now I heard they're almost worth $1 billion. It's not the money, the brilliant brains, as I said first slide, our intelligent, all the characters they have, we have it. And the UWorld, what created to show the America, we're not able to create in India. With the cheaper version, we can able to do it. So that's an indication. UWorld QBank, you can Google it. You'll find in no time actually, because
just to iterate my interpretation of the points that you've made. So probably to make on fronts of learning methods or pedagogy methods and assessment also, we need to leverage platforms like UWise and UWorld, which will help, I think, in self-learning, because people, students can just directly go and watch the videos. And somehow I think one of the added advantages is it will ensure uniformity in learning also. So you're learning to some standard, and it is not entirely dependent upon the professor or the class conduct in different colleges. So everyone is at the same level, at least some minimum threshold level. So that can be ensured with these platforms. Perhaps.
Thank you for interpreting. Please keep on interpreting me, because that gives me whatever I have, I can able to bring it. When it's 200 students sitting in a classroom, their focus is less. They're diluted, but the same. And if you're high level, they like to be in the computer. They're 100% focused on the self-learning. In the Harvard, they're not attending classes. I have given another example. My son goes to, he's a medical student. I asked him, they give 2 options. You can come to classroom, you can learn, don't need to come. You can watch the tape records. I asked them, most high scorers go to the classroom or don't? You know the answer? Don't. Why? Because when they focus on the classroom, when they know some subject, they fast forward. If they don't know, they will stop it, they research it, and then learn. So they don't have to be put together with the same ship with everybody else. And also other problem is the current status, 90% of them, you can take a survey. I did a survey, which I will love to share. Dr. Najib, $5 lectures for almost major first year subjects, definitely helpful. And I asked 500 people surveyed back me. and they said, please rank the Dr. Najib lectures from 1 to 5 or something. No, actually, excellent, good, very good, average. And then they did almost excellent, average, much more. But they asked classroom, they do below average. Below average. So, like your concept, that is a very essential tool of the whole education. Will be pushing on. So the wherever the AIMS people, AIMS student have availability, we have a small rural medical college have the availability. That along with that, you have to take the burden of colleges. Hey, you have to have so many faculty. No, no, no. You don't need so many faculties. You need lesser faculty. That is more burden to the producing a product. You want to make a quality product with less expense. And here is the putting burden on the private colleges. They give all these reasons because you put the less product, there the business running too. Of course, even the non-profit, they cannot go with the Supreme Court order. So that's the other thing. No.
So I think there was a recent article that MCI, I think it's been a couple of days when MCI was in force, that online classes are not permitted for MBBS courses in India. So while it sounded like a justified advisory, because then you cannot ensure that the student really took classes to the level that they are expected to or not, perhaps this can be institutionalized so that we can move to that channel, so we can avoid that
Yeah,
kind of
that's wrong.
disparity.
I don't know what is the meaning of it. They send it. Then I said, if the Harvard kids are going online, if America going online, you can tell from your own. Don't worry whether they come to class or not. Don't care. They always say, "Oh, students are not coming, sir. Why do you want to come in?" You put the computerized multiple choice. You pass, fail. That is the final test, right? Any quality product, final test is what is assessment, and you do that. First of all, you're not giving a good lectures. You will ignoring the 12 months of the second, third year rotation. Medicine, there is no, there is a class, the quality is not, you're not assessing. Where is the incentive for a student if they don't assess?
So
That's
such channels of online teaching and online learning can be leveraged perhaps in the earlier years, first or second years, because
absolutely.
during those years perhaps there is less requirement for clinical postings and you're too new to get into that. And towards the later years, you need to be you need to be physically over there, because then you need to
Actually,
see the
let me give
procedures.
you, that's good. I want 11th, 12th grade students were mostly, they got MBBS seats. I asked them, you went to the private tuition or somewhere. Yes. Did you, if you read an essay questions alone, do you have an MBBS seat? They said no. How many multiple? Those people research of the exam. They provide the material. They give the good material. They make you read. They test you hundreds of times, thousands of times. Then you got the MBBS seat. In MBBS, they're not giving, nobody giving me information, and nobody giving multiple choice questions, nobody making you read. Then you expect the PG seat, the rank of the next examination. And I tell them, yes, sir, we know, sir, we know, we're trying to tell the students are with it. They will adapt in 2 minutes. Only thing is, you tell them now, next year is the final multiple choice examination. You multiple choice examination. Then they're ready. The 1 year is fine. I talk to them. Don't give, sir, 3 months, 1 year. Then they're ready. That's the one thing you have to, that's number one top priority. So the other one is, let me see. Okay. Other education, before I go to the postgraduate, so we talked about first year. Yes, first year. First year is very important because when the 12-year-old, 18-year-old student comes with the same mind of well prepared, it is like they're reading so much. Suddenly come to medical college, there's no challenge except in the big institution like AIMS. So that you need to first day one also, when they come into the fresh course, this is anatomy, these are the lectures you need to read, these are the examinations, the schedule should be put in. And then the examination, go to the computer, they take it. So the teacher should not be in teaching role, lectures. The teacher should be implementing the end product. It's like supervising the assembly machine. So that way, because these lectures are much, there is no way if a doctor, one doctor can produce this kind of lectures. These are all team products, slowly evaluation. So yes, the anatomy, they have some practicals, fine, they can teach, that's important. But and first day, okay, they have 20 chapters. After 1 month, we have the test examination. You fix the date. The schedule should be written for every year. The fixed one, and that's why they expect what to do 12 months. They expect what to read 12 months. What when is the examination? So that is not there. They give it to everybody. Everybody do their own way. So that's first year is must. If you let it go first year, there is a simple thing they said. If you are in a profession, if you did not do it, like I'm a doctor, if I didn't do 6 months, I forget. If if whatever it is, my memory will be. So if you a good student coming back, you leave, don't let them do any year or 2 3 years, then it takes them 2 more years to bring back to their skills. So giving a gap at the first year is not able to challenge is a big mistake we're doing.
Um, So maybe you can help us understand. So we've spoken a bit about the assessment and the learning methods. We suggest, we can draw some learnings. On the course structure, the way it is structured, would you have any inputs over there? So as I understand that MBBS is a 5.5 years course in India with including 1 year of internship. And it has been divided into three stints, preclinical, paraclinical, and clinical. Would you have any comments on the structure of it?
Structure is not issue because they know well, all the NMC, they do well. They're trying to bring the CBN, the integrated curriculum or something like that. But the question is here missing is we're not giving the ownership to the student, and we're not assessing. When the student goes to the OBGYN rotation, they're not giving the lectures, they're not assessing it. That's where it is a problem. In the assessment, we can the team on the central team can go through that and then implement it. That's where missing. Here, 4 years, student mature. There's incentive because the average student have $200,000 loan, so they have incentive. In India, they don't have any loan. They don't have ownership on that, but they were good to read. They will follow your seniors advice. They worry about assessment, so that they will do. So I don't structure-wise. I don't want to get in that. There's no gaps on it. Actually, the worst thing is in anatomy. First year, preclinical. First year, imagine there is I think 16. Find out about somebody posted around 1800 hours of teaching. See, the way they interpret is as an anatomy professor physiology, I have to give 1800 of my talk. Who will listen to their talk? The question is, what is the output? Your curriculum, your lectures, you tune it with the forms like your somebody who has experience, they can able to do, and then that's what missing, and that one product can get the whole 80,000 students.
So, since you highlighted that MCI and NMC are already on the job of the structure of the course, and they have actually given out a revised curriculum in 2018, I suppose it came out, and they've emphasized a lot on the competencies and the integration part of it. So, where they've highlighted that there is requirement of integration, horizontal as well as vertical amongst the topics. So, in America, how is that being really implemented in terms of what kind of collaboration happens between the faculty? Of course, the one way is to have the content available on the technology platforms like UWise, but if it has to be done in a classroom manner or through demonstrations, through clinical postings also, do you have any suggestions on how the integration can be done?
Excellent. Thank you for asking me again, because what they do is the student goes and listen these videos at home, lectures at home. When they come home, the classes, they put the people around a table. Say, for example, diabetes. And then diabetes patient, they give a case of so many 60 years old patient diabetes. Okay, what do you do? Okay, diet, and what kind of diet you change it? Okay, then what medicines? Is the oral tablets, injections, insulin? What is the complications? So the student coming from home with the knowledge of high memorization of the information, then they will analyze around the table. This is called flipped class, or we can call active learning. And there's a college. This is actually we're from, if you're advising for the elementary school, and I did some small in a rural area, small. It worked in the slums in Andhra Pradesh. There's the Exeter, which is a very high premium school in New Hampshire in America. 40 years ago, they have a table made in a room, and they don't have a syllabus. They have a topic, a PhD, they're affordable. They're all the 10 students. This is not going to work more than 12 students. And the discussion table, and that's, you probably know all this. They discuss. So in the classroom should be discussions, and then put a presentation, and they talk, and they're like a scholarly debate. That's what you use that 4 hours, not to the teaching.
The discussions happen around clinical problems or scenarios, so that they can leverage their learnings, academic learnings to address those cases.
Yes, yeah, yes. You should keep challenging. These are also we can able to. This is what we have to put the NMC board to a task force for anatomy. What kind of discuss they have? You can put a PDF of case. I have some examples of them. They discuss these things, pharmacology, what they discuss. The situation is like this. I'll explain to you. If I have a cholesterol, I take a cholesterol medication called statins. When I take a statin, my liver, there's some side effects. Say some people's liver enzymes goes up. So I went to one of the medical college. All the pharmacy staff is there, including HOD. I asked them how much of my liver enzymes goes up. I have to stop the cholesterol medicine. No one answered that. The pharmacology department just teach the pharmacological, but they have no connection. They're very smart people. So if you put a case like that, so many cholesterol, if the other enzyme this goes up, then what do you do? Then I asked the same question. A first year postgraduate who took the exam, he said, sir, 3 times, if level goes more than 3 times, that's what the answer, because that student was put to the test of that concept. He able to answer that, but not HOD of the pharmacology. This is what the missing gap. This is my practical. I practically sitting there on the table. I just an example, because that's what it is. Unless if you know the information, everybody knows what is the statin, learn about it, but they don't discuss about the clinical scenario, and that's what it is missing. And that can be easily implemented with forms like yours, which are expertise. But you cannot let the NMC do this. Forms like you has to come in and put together. The money is there. They don't have to single spend an extra rupee. What they spend right now, as I said, 3,000 rupees for every examination for every student. You can get the numbers out. And also the other thing, while we're here, the clinical rotations. This is major important in America. 50 medical colleges do not have. I don't know whether I did this. Sorry, 50 medical colleges. So 80,000. This is postgraduate. I wanted to talk later. Okay, this is 50 medical colleges in America have no hospitals. 50 medical, no hospitals. Our MCA has to make mandate hospital. That's a good thing. I'm not going to. What I'm saying is 50. So where is the students going? They go into the private school hospitals for clinical rotations. So I wrote this one. Say for example, you take a city, any city. Say take Delhi. Delhi has 10 medical colleges, and they have so many corporate hospitals. So you take the students, and then you create more postgraduate students, and you rotate them through the NABH certified hospitals. Mandatory, because now government of India giving the health insurance, and everybody has to aspects. A lot of corporate hospitals, Arogyasri in Andhra Pradesh, in Tamil, Telangana, and some other. And I think Modi ji coming with Aishman Bharat. So they all private. NABH hospital must, 100-bed hospital must. They have clinical pathology. We're not using it. We're only using the medical colleges, private medical. We're blaming private medical college. You don't have patients. You don't have faculty. And they're giving false certifications, and they come 5 days. No, why don't you send the students where the work is there? The private physician, he will sit there, he read all the, like OBGYN, I read all my tapes, and then I go to OBGYN, they have they 50 patients, I learn from, they do some procedures, student wise, they learn. So that part is very, very underutilized. So you don't need to.
Yeah, just to iterate my understanding of it, you're saying that there is a need for collaboration between medical colleges and these hospitals so that students can get appropriate experience from the clinical postings in those hospitals.
That
And in that manner, perhaps we can avoid the infrastructural expenses within the medical colleges to build hospitals. So
exactly.
even if there is a standalone college without a hospital per se, we can have that. That will reduce the cost, and then they can leverage the infrastructure of other medical colleges,
Absolutely.
hospitals.
And also what
Okay.
happening is, say for example, Delhi has, this come to the postgraduate, Delhi, one medical colleges have, say 100 MBBS seats and they have only postgraduate 50. So what, and 50 postgraduate seats create under the medical college, but they rotate through private colleges for clinical rotation. For teaching education, they're online. I'm a student. I went to private college for a general medicine rotation, and they have online conference. I can log on to it, watch it. So for academically, college is the main thing in charge. And clinical patient, these are all well, private physicians are more responsible. Otherwise, if they don't treat patient right, they have liability, they have corporate responsibility. There's so much, they're more ownership oriented than the medical college compared to the system, because that's a big system. So that's where the major part of clinical rotation, that's why you can create a postgraduate seat without expense. 50% of postgraduate you can create by private medical colleges, but you have to give this, hey, your students can go to private hospitals. And actually MCA just recently came with a small change. A postgraduate has to go to district hospitals 3 months. So why not NBA hospital, but still maybe one day a week or half a day, like in Kalamazoo where I live, the university half a day for residents give lectures, 3 hours, only half a day they come, rest of them they go back to clinics. So if they, so you can make a Delhi Medical College half day lectures for OBGYN, rest of the 4 days go to the other hospitals, other clinic, they're busy. So academically, they're, and they have exams, they have um, postgrad. So that's what the most concept. So look at this extent, district hospital, private NIH, like in years 50 medical, this is the slide I made it, and then we can elaborate on. This is most important thing we're missing, because we're using for healthcare private hospital, Ayushman, why not my medical student go to the pathology so much there? They learn from it. And also they not only learn from the culture, I mean, clinical cases, but also the different style of the physician, private physician, because they, how they interact, because they get paid, so they'll be more responsible. So they learn the behavior of it. They're the
A
different.
very, very good point here, because given the kind of healthcare system in India, I think there are a lot of gaps and there are a lot of issues in terms of access and provision of health care. So that gap can be bridged through these kind of collaborations. So even the stints at some far off places in which are rural areas or inaccessible areas can help address the need of Indian healthcare, and at the same time, students can get good learnings from the from the on-ground experience. So
Absolutely.
that's
And also government have significant power on the private, I mean, hospitals, because by paying method, number one. Number two, they need a lot of permissions. So they ask is, oh, why the student, like postgraduate comes to the private NABH hospital. Actually, the cost of a let me be one step behind. All government medical college like COVID, 90% is treated by postgraduate and interns in India, 90% are nurses, because all the staff, there's somewhere they don't go into the room in the government colleges, especially 90% of the postgraduates and interns. So if you do, you can imagine a study
not
without that.
authorized actually. Yeah.
If you don't have a postgraduates in the hospitals, the government hospital, it won't run. It will collapse in tomorrow. So why don't you create more postgraduates, and then they rotate through same postgraduates, put it in primary care, 20-bed hospitals, the government, which is cheaper. Actually, you pay a lot less than and also they learn, they depend, they have to work hard. Therefore, they have ownership because they have to graduate, they learn, and that's what.
Also, Dr. Lokesh, how would you rate the quality of undergraduate education in India as compared to America, and what is in it that we can do to enhance the quality aspect of it?
Okay, these are the things. All the things: online questions, assessment, and clinical rotation, private clinical rotations. At the major big step is done. That is called NMC examination. The rest will easy, but these are the things. Yes, NMC examination. All we talked about now.
And a lot of inputs we've received on the holistic development of the doctors at the undergraduate level, as Dr. E.K. Tandon has also highlighted in one of his communications over email, that perhaps there needs to be more focus on development of soft skills or communication skills and then procedural skills. Maybe that element is missing right now in the academic curriculum. So
Absolutely.
how can we have those learnings from USA? Or is there anything in particular they are doing very good? Are they integrating it to the curriculum per se? And do we have anything to learn from there?
Yes. Soft skills, major important. You don't learn by lecture soft skill, but you do have basic skills. You learn when you go, and you have to you learn more soft skills in sometimes in the private setting, because you respect the customer. Government, you take it. So then in that environment, you're never going to learn soft skills. And also the gap between the doctor and nurse is so much. This is what I state, even I wrote to vice president's speech is not happened yet. Once we feel proud of a nurse in our home, once we feel a nurse in our home, then Indian healthcare will better. Until then, it won't. Like 80% of the healthcare proud, only one state has it, Kerala, and they respect the nurse as they proud a nurse have, like everybody want doctor in my house, not a nurse. But if you don't change that, no matter what the doctors do, unless you have good nursing care and paramedic care, you are never going to achieve any goal, no matter what you do. That's very fundamental important thing. Same thing, nurses soft skills. It's a culture. It takes decades to do, but we have great respect. We respect 1 year senior. We respect highly. So I don't want to give up our great positive things, but the wording, because for example, we tell all negatives first, then we'll tell the positives. But if you tell the positives first and slightly negative in this way, so these kind of techniques, these are the thing, real examples by lectures. They learn everything. So this will be imported directly to the students, and of course the faculty also. It is a learning curve. You have to take a mission Swachh Bharat, soft skill soft skill Swachh Bharat by big guys, and then we have to change it. What are the gaps? I'm saying, and we have so
Uh,
many positive things.
Yeah, so there is definitely, I think everyone understands the need part of it. But I just wanted to understand how is America, able to integrate it as part of the curriculum. So one of the inputs that we received that in Australia there is a lot of focus on group learnings and team-based assessments. So that definitely it helps you develop, team management skills and leadership skills per se. But in India, which of course is an area that we need to work upon. So, similar to that, is there a practice in America that
Well,
we can leverage upon?
Well, these are the things we talk. Remember, the student learn at home and come and discuss the plan. That's what the answer for that question, and that's what they do. Yeah, actually, one example of where one medical college, there are 32,000 PG seats in America. One college gets 800 seats. Let me put differently. Out of 32,000, 26 are governed for American students. There are 8,000, 7,000 PGs will be going for Caribbean or maybe other all over the world. Out of the 800 seats given, one school which does not have a hospital. It's called St. George in Grenada. And the charge, what they charge for a year? $80,000 per year fees. And then what do? They do the same thing. They put online, they do lectures, there's one of the Indian student who graduated and worked there. How do you do that? He said 10 students together, they talk and discuss and things like that. So if you have independence, I can make it many hospital in no time, but you need to give them, you have to do the online learning. that models, if you want to look at that model, St. George or something, you can able to do. I mean, we don't need we can able to develop our own in no time, because but somebody need. But I think in a form like you may have to take a look at the model. That's probably the better.
Certainly. Yeah.
And
So you,
let's go to the
yeah, one of the
postgraduate.
things that you had mentioned was on the family medicine. I think you shared a document also with me, so I just wanted to hear
Okay,
your thoughts.
this is the most important thing. This slide tells us this major issue. This is also comes in undergrad. If you don't have, who is the teacher, clinical teacher for MBBS student? Who they look up to? Vice Chancellor, Principal, HOD, Senior student.
I think it's mostly senior, but Akash, you can correct me if I'm wrong because most of them interact a lot with the SRs here. So
So that's what, if you don't, so create more of them, they teach you. Your answer is correct. MBBS is 80,000. The last time MCA, before they shut down the system into the NMC, that's what it is. I go to MCA website once a week for last 7 years. Once a week at least. PG seats are only 35,000 and need 40,000 more. The major thing missing in India from the Western is primary care, preventive care. The major, if you come to the diabetes, you don't need diabetologists, you need a family physician, you need a good patient, good nursing, good everything. But India is going such a way that they want to do mid-level provider everything, but they're not putting a supervisor for that as a medical doctor, which will be pediatrics is not qualified to do that. You only know pediatrics. Internal medicine, not, because only adults. OBGYN alone, no. That is the family medicine which connects all these. This is the solution for rural area as a supervisor. Not, they don't alone cannot do it, but they have to do with the infrastructure of other ones. What is the solution out of 40,000 things? This is what I come. 10,000, where did it come? This is NRMP. If you go to the NRMP, they give around 10-12%, or then family medicine, and that's what it comes. Here, how do you make the family medicine 10? You make a mandatory family medicine department every medical college by NMC, number one. Then the department forms. This is
they would
nothing
have
new.
to have PGs. So yeah.
And then only PGs come. PG, I mean, NMC asks you need to have a couple of people. They already have family medicine is this in 2012 or something, 8 years. Again, like ER, nobody taken ownership, nobody implemented. Unless you make a family medicine mandate, it won't happen. Because if you make it happen, your solution for PG, they want a PG seats, but they don't have a how to make it. They talk about the chief changes, the in charge VK Paul moved on, somebody else coming, Dr. Sharma coming, but that's what it is. And also, how do you make family medicine with the department? See, family medicine is a combination. They already, every medical college should automatically give mandatory 10% PG, like MBBS. As soon as 5 years, you should have, out of 80,000, every medical college for 100, okay, you have 10 seats PG. You have it, that's it. You cannot say no obligation because they already have a OBGYN department to give MBBS college. They have a pediatric there. They have all department. Otherwise, they won't give permission for MBBS. Why should you have an extra criteria for the family medicine? They are rotating through those things. They can have one department. There's a manager, like a doctor, 3 people to make sure they go to every place. Because 12 months of 36 months is a postgraduate. 12 months is in the small primary health centers, small health. So that is already there. These people can go there and they can clinic that supervised from the remotely telemedicine. So that is cheaper. You're hiring a postgraduate cheaper. You're training them. You're solving the postgraduate seats, and also these students will be teachers for the medicine. So there's so many nexus put together, and it's a WHO recommendations. Primary care, primary care. Primary care is 4 things: family medicine, emergency medicine, general medicine, pediatrics, and OB. They're all are primary cares. So next, go to the emergency medicine. We
Has
talked
to
about.
be managed some way.
Yes, but because there, I know there. I talked to one of them in family medicine doctor UK. She does help with a lot of it, like your firm helping the government in education and other things. And they're all pro to the. They want to develop a small nurses, middle levels in the rural India, but they need a supervisor. They need only family medicine is a supervisor, because family medicine in one place I can do remotely. The PG is there. Okay, any question they will talk each other. So they do that. So that way they can able they have confidence and things like that. And other one is general medicine. We only have 4,000. The general medicine, I will show you again. How do we create 12,000? Say, for example, 100 MBBS seats, you give around 20%, means 20 is general medicine. Out of 20 medicine, oh, there is no patient, there is rotation. Well, that's where they go to the district hospitals. That's where they go to the NABH hospital. General medicine is everything. So these are all above primary care. So 13,000 it distributes so many specialists. I have one lady got the orthopedic seat, but she didn't took it. She went to the family medicine. And they said that VK Paul said there is no demand. I will tell you, in family medicine seats first started in Kerala, they went for out of 1,02,000. Kerala person take 2,000 rank. First rank 2,000 or 3,000, they took the family medicine. As soon as the medicine is done, emergency medicine, they took, because they instead of ENT, they instead of ophthalmology, there are too many of them. So they're going that side. So there is a big difference. And India needs, it's not the question of India has to proactively create it, put it that one. That's what the most important.
Certainly.
So let me see anything else I missed through that. Wow. Okay, this is mandatory then. 24.
This has been implemented. I mean, I think at least the advisory has been out. So we'll just
yeah, this is how I went through the ER process in 2008, and this is the process, so that it will be recorded in case if you. So I will. Okay, let me now stop sharing. How do I stop sharing? Why this is Zoom, right? Okay.
So there is a green button at the bottom which says share screen. Probably you can click it again, and then it will stop sharing.
Oh yeah, it's there. Okay. Yeah.
So,
any questions for students? Then you're asking beautiful questions. Ashok, Akash, or Sharda has any questions?
Yeah, Akash, do you have anything?
No, not as of now. I think this is fine. Sorry.
What is your opinion?
So, I think Dr. Lokesh probably, Lokesh, Dr. Lokesh. So, as you were mentioning, so we got this feedback from some of the other developers of the world also. So, like you mentioned, a lot of assessments where we are lacking the on-ground practical trainings and everything. And the preventive care, one of the last aspect currently which you were mentioning. So that is completely, I think, missing. In India, a lot of focus right now is rather than preventive care, it's most on how do you diagnose, how do you treat and everything. So these are the critical points that needs to be leveraged and probably incorporated into our curriculum and our system also going forward.
Yes. Yeah, agree. And also because of no family doctor there, because
Right.
we can teach them what test that they're testing, like COVID, they're testing a vital test for typhoid. So there's so much while doing the Zooms, we're learning so much that need to be implemented. There's also this continuous discussion between passionate people who want to back to India and other countries back to. This kind of discussions will be more important, I think. Okay, thank you.
Right.
I just have one question before we close our discussion. I want to understand, since MCI has directed that, more and more colleges should leverage skill labs. And I got this input from one of the doctors that, it is one of the ways they learned. And perhaps their college was a bit on the progressive side of it. They had the skill lab and they could leverage. And it was a very good mean to learn. How well is it leveraged in USA so that, we can emphasize more on that part?
Skill lab is very important, but the question is this, what the MCI says, your medical college, you spend 2-3 crores, get a skill lab. The question is, no, you don't need that many skill labs. One skill lab can be shared by all the students. So we'll have less investment.
Infrastructure can be built.
Because skill labs are very good learning, but the cost need to be, maybe you can make a suggestion to make in India skill labs for those people. That way we can have our own product. And also one simple thing, sleep apnea, where everybody snores have sleep apnea 80%. And those people, the machine is 50,000, is good for upper 20%. You make a 10,000 rupees sleep app machine, this is solution for the whole India. So that kind of things I'm talking about. So they will helpful to you, helpful to us.
Rather than having skill lab in each of the colleges, it may be a good idea to have at regional level and then organize workshops for students to visit and
And then you say, you want to go final examination, you should have skill lab certificate.
Yes, yeah.
See how
Certifications are very emphasized upon in the recent curriculum. So yeah.
Certificates, don't trust the medical college, don't trust the faculty, don't skill lab building, you don't have an empty building. Same thing, nursing also, there are 10 colleges, you put one skill lab, they share and they work with that. You measure on the, oh, I want a skill lab like OB/GYN certification is done. Some kind of the digitally made. So if there's a private company, they can put a skill lab, they can go and learn, then they have authenticity. Like Indian Resuscitation Council, American Heart Association produced so much ILCOR. Indian Resuscitation Council, we build up from with ISA, Dr. Chakragar sir, from the day one, every life-saving citizen should be lifesaver. 100 people cardiac arrest outside the hospital, 1% is attempted in India compared to 40 people attempted in America. So that's what that's a separate issue, but we did not trust the government. We have Vice Chancellor opened a couple of manuals. We're doing some private most of the time.
So that has been a very good discussion, and we've got few very good points that I think are takeaways for us, and it would definitely be part of the paper that we'll be eventually taking your review on. So,
one thing we said is there is students, so because nobody care about, they have some IM having something, but nobody cared. They have their own association, but they have some issues. Then we formed a Section 8 Global Association of Indian Medical Students. So we're giving a path to students go to Russia, China platform. We can able to platform to talk from American API have a student association with the Indian students. And to actually today at 9 o'clock, we have a Zoom conference, how to social media. The students are there and ISA presidents and London, World Health, ILCOR. So we're making together. So the strength of it, that association has so power, and we request all this problem we're going to share with them, and they are the future. They own it. Nobody is owning them. Nobody giving advice. They will own it. And with the farms like your farms, that will be best combination to get to more faster than what we're going.
I think we all need to come together to actually make the on-ground changes. So that's really
come together with and data put together, whatever missing, we're done. Yes. Yeah.
So with that, I think we've had very good discussion. I would like to touch base with you again. So once we have something in place, more concrete to take your review on and to take further inputs and deep dive into some of the topics, depending upon your availability. So yeah, that's.
You have your email, so whenever I get the other one, the article written on the this published article. These are all students. That's what my life is. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for Kane this opportunity. I really.
It will be very good to have a copy of the presentation that you were making. So the points are very nicely, highlighted.
Did you record it, or you? I will definitely send my link to it. Will take after 5 minutes. It will store. I'll send the link to you.
So, yeah, I think we could not record it because we are not, as I told you, there is an IT issue in recording.
I will email you this because I just learned recording since the last time. I do record 2 minutes at a time, send the messages. Okay, yeah.
That will be really nice. Thank you, Doctor.
Thanks
a lot for your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye.